Another person will come and continue from. Once you show an example, you can actually do whatever you want to show that is exemplary within the period allowed. You can do it in 1 year. Let's take up Ghana. Things are changed in 6 months. So you don't need to be there for eternity. And there's so many competent leaders in Africa. If the term is 2 years, serve 2 years and go. Another person will come and continue from. Once you show an exemplary life or direction, nobody can change it. Thank you. Thank you, Worobi.
I know that the best is done when you are young, ideal, and vibrant and dynamic. When you are kuje, then you don't have the best. And but some people believe that unless they are there, nobody else. They will even tell you that they haven't got anybody else. And I believe that that is a sin against God. Because if God takes you away, which God can do anytime, then somebody else will come. And that somebody else may do better or may do worse. I don't say it will do better. He may do better, he may do worse. But somebody else will come.
Thank you, Baba. Maybe, Charlotte, before I come to you, I'm told that Governor Peter Obi would like to say a few words. I know they're killing me with time, but he's spoken a lot about integrity in leadership. So I'd love for us to give him...
I'll come to your question. But this issue of opposition winning, ensuring or giving indication of credibility of election, I think it's also part of what we get from our friends and development partners from the West. My friend Bush Jr., I think he's 43rd president of America. I think he's
Hello. These are the matter of the moment. See how Obi talk about himself. Ambassador allowed to him and said he can do 4 years and do significantly. But, however, what that is about what people, what they are doing, are they right? He is trying to form a coalition against the already existing government. Election is still far away from now. What are the political partners doing? What are INEC doing to stand a price upon the poor politicking? It's amazing. They are not doing anything because they were employed by the government. Take a look at what happened in China when a young boy in 1990, guys, he said, I saw machine gun coming and said, crush me, I'm ready to die. That will be the case in Nigeria if the case is not taken. So let's see what they have to say.
President of America, I think he's 43rd, who will still remain friends anytime I go to America and I have a call on him. So my daughter contested the election as senator, and she lost. And when I saw him, I told him, I said, oh, my daughter contested the election as a senator, and she lost. He said that the election must be credible. Now, but that to me it's not really the way that it should be looked at. But of course, that's the way that, if my daughter contested the election and she lost, it means that I didn't interfere with the election and all that. Okay. So that is that. I just believe that what I said earlier, there's a lot that should go into democracy before election, and there's even a lot more that should go into democracy after election, and democracy dividend must be felt by everybody. There should be nobody left out from benefiting from democracy dividend. Now, you said that we are getting young chief executive at our national levels now. Yes, we are. But I was fairly young when I left as military head of state. I left at 42. I came back 20 years later at 62. Still comparatively young. And then I left after 8 years at 70. Still comparatively young. And if I have not given up, now officially at 88, still comparatively young, then I can say to these young African presidents, there is life after the state house. I think that's very, very important. And if they know that there is life after state house, I think they will be a little bit along the path of rectitude. They will do things right, knowing that there's still a lot of them. I have also suggested to the AU, part of the problem of some of the young ones is what do they do? What do they do if you leave government as head of state at 50, whatever? What do you do for the rest of your life? And they don't think of what to do. And I have suggested that AU should establish, there are some universities now that AU, and give them office secretary. Let them first of all write their memoir. Secondly, let them go around and give talk. For a meeting like this, you get them to come and give talk. President Mahama will make them comfortable for the 2 or 3 nights that they will be here. President Jonathan will keep their company. I think we should not let them feel frustrated or idle. I will be specific. The former president of Republic of Benin, Boni Yayi, was put in house arrest. And I was really, really worried. Almost every day he was calling me. What can I do? So I wasn't close enough to his predecessor to be able to approach him. And if I approach him and he didn't respond, what do I do? So I went to President Ouattara. I say, hey, you are doyen of Francophone leaders. Why don't you handle this? He said, no. They can't handle it. So I said to her, what else can I do now? So I jumped inside the plane and I went to Paris. I didn't book any appointment. And I went to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Fortunately or unfortunately, the minister was not in town. So the ambassador who was on the desk of Africa desk received me. And I said, look, I have come here. First of all, he said, look, I cannot take you to my office. I will have to take you to the foreign minister's office and receive you there. I said, take me anywhere, just. So when we got to the foreign minister's office, I said, look, the first thing, what is French policy for Francophone Africa? He said, now we don't talk of Francophone Africa. French policy, first of all, is the security of 15% French population who are either of African descent or living in Africa. The second is we go for business, anywhere we can see business. The third is with you, 54, AU, we 27. If in international meeting we come together, we should carry the day. I said, all right, thank you very much. Now, I come to talk about the situation in the Republic of Benin. And he said, no, we cannot come into that. So, but then he said to me, talk to President Kagame, and President Kagame may be able to solve the problem for you. Now, I have to go to Paris to get solutions for. So, of course, I'm very close to President Kagame. So I phoned President Kagame. 48 hours later, President Kagame has done it. President Boniai has been released from house arrest. Now, what I'm saying here, you say what the problem of the young ones must also be of interest, not only nationally, but regionally and continentally.
Yes.
And where possible, we should help them.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
June 2 months ago, we had a lot of activities that took us 16 days. It was supposed to be 17 days, but Mr. President took 2 in one day, so that made it 16 days. And since
Wiki, he's a Wiki, amazing man. He's taking the world by storm. He wants to tell us what he did with the president, and now we look at the River State and we see the measures that will be uplifted. And for or welcome to Sitters today. Amazing. Ogi has so much to say about what he did and what not. Itoyin and subscribe my channel. Also follow on Facebook on MOE Comedy and MOE Comedy Plus. Thank you and God bless. Don't forget to subscribe my channel on Freebra on YouTube. Thank you.
And since that time, we've been very busy. Since I took this appointment as minister, I have never had time to travel out to say, okay, go on holidays. Some of the permanent secretaries, mandate secretaries, they always come with lies, want to travel. This one, my son is graduating, my daughter is married, this and that and that. Each time I travel, I go with files. I go with CFOs to make sure that the work is not being delayed. But this time around, I said, whatever it is, I must travel. I must. So, if the whole place will crumble, let it crumble. Because one has to be alive before you satisfy other people. You know, this doing that, people waiting for you. The day you drop, they will announce another person the next day. So you must make sure while you are working, you also take time out and relax. So I said, let me travel. Before I know it, I was here that they said they were sick. I heard they said they have heart attack. God will continue to help them to have heart attack. It is my prayer I will sign their condolences. It's my prayer very soon. I will write a letter, we are sorry. We loved him. But take heart. It's God that gives, it's God that has taken. You see, the level of this country where we are, we play politics with everything. How somebody can sit down, just all kinds of things. Where the person saw me, I don't know. The hospital he saw me, I do not know. And yet, we're all happy reading it in social media. This is a country where somebody who on social media will say, Mr. President is a criminal. Nothing will happen. Nothing. You say all kinds of things you want to say, nothing will happen. No matter how you see people criticize Trump, have you ever seen any American citizen on the social media, on the public, say, look, our president is a criminal? Have you ever had that? But yeah, anybody can wake up in the morning and abuse president, and we're happy. You are lucky you have a president that believes in the rule of law. You are lucky. Continue to be lucky. There are those you will meet and you will be lucky again. And other people, just as us called me, that people said they would demonstrate that we are paying attention to roads, we are not paying attention to health. I go direct to listen. Demonstration is allowed everywhere. Everywhere. Nobody would blackmail me. Nobody will stop me from doing what I think is right and do it at the right time.
quite a very interesting way you put it, quite mildly, because everyone is curious. But the most important thing now is that there's peace in the States. Whether that peace is fragile, whether it's just short-term, it's a different kettle of fish entirely. But you have access to all of this, gentlemen. Now, it is clear what has played out, that the governor has now been encircled. Politically speaking, it would appear to look like coming into a lame duck situation. That's what it looks like. I don't know how ingeniously he's going to walk around this, because he's the number one citizen in the state, but he's flanked around by, quote unquote, political hostility that have now reconciled. If you were to speak to him, what will you be telling him?
It's extremely difficult, and I think the governor will be finding himself in a very difficult situation. First of all, the way politics has played out in Nigeria, almost every situation is a governor in leaving office looks for somebody who he believes can continue whatever agenda they had moving forward. But time and time again, we find out that where the new governor or whoever has come in as governor is left alone to kind of run his administration, then things kind of progress. Where you then see that doesn't happen almost always, we've ended up in this whole Godfather, Godson fight. And it's never been good for democracy. Everywhere that fight has occurred, the people have tended to suffer a lot more. My prayer is that as we come back, because we don't know what we're going to see starting from tomorrow, the one thing that we are sure about is that the governor is not in a position to make any decision. So to your question,